Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this session, I want to talk about a spline. A spline are basically 2D lines that can be used as the foundation for creating 3D objects. You can use them to design different shapes and even build more complex models. So let's start. When I want to create something, I have to come to create, and when I want to create 2D shapes, I have to come to shapes, and in a spline I have some object. For example, I want to create circle. Left click here, and in one viewport, if I hold left click and drag, I can create circle. And now in create I have some parameters for change, but if I tap escape, now in create I don't have any parameters. And if I want make change, I have to come to modify, and now I have some parameters. I want to talk about some of this. I don't want to talk about all of this because I think it's better that I talk about some of this that I think may be useful during this course. So, rendering. First one, enable in renderer. It means if I select this one, I can see this circle like a 3D shapes in a render, and if I select this one, enable in viewport, I can see like a 3D shape in a viewport. And here I have two options. First one is a radial, that I have thickness that I can change from here and also from keyboard, and also I have sides, and you can see more sides, more smoother. And also I have angle, but here you cannot see. And if I come and select rectangular, here also I have some option for change. And in angle, you can see change. Okay. And also here in parameters, I have radius, and I can control from here, and also a keyboard. But the changes are not limited to this section. For more change, you can use the edit spline or turn it into an editable spline. So what's the difference? Edit spline is a parametric, and editable spline is non-parametric. And edit spline also keep the original shape, but in edit spline we can't create animation, and in editable spline we can create animation. I rather use editable spline. And one thing to keep in mind is that with repeated edits, editing a spline can sometimes deform the shapes. This happens because each new edit is tagged on top of the previous one, and over time the spline might lose its clean form. Fortunately, this happens less often with editable spline, so I rather use editable spline. If I want to use edit spline, I have to come to modifier list and search for edit spline and select. And now I have a circle and I have an edit spline. Control Z, and if I want use editable spline, come and right click here in convert to editable spline. See, I don't have a circle, but I have a vertex, segment, spline, same edit spline. So what the meaning of this? For first I turn off this one and this one. Vertex. These are vertexes. And segment. These are segment and spline. This is spline, and also I can use keyboard. 1 for vertex, 2 for segment, and 3 for spline. So in a vertex, in a geometry, I want to talk about refine. Refine for add dots, as you can see. And when I want unselect refine, I have to come and left click here again. Now I want to move this vertex. You see two helpers here. In vertex we have 3 options. If I right click here, I can see Bezier corner, Bezier and corner. Bezier corner. When I select Bezier corner and move this helper this moving alone, and also this one moving alone. But in Bezier, if I move this one, that one also moving. And in the corner, I don't have helper. So after that, I want to talk about fuse. Fuse is used to snap vertices directly on top of each other without actually merging them. It's a great way to prepare your mesh before welding. For example, I choose 2 vertices and then fuse. As you can see, the points now share the same location, but there's still separate. See? This one and this one. Or for more points, not different. But what about weld? Weld command lets you actually merge those overlapping vertices into a single one. And from here, you can control how it works using the threshold value. This number tells 3ds Max how close 2 points need to be together welded. If your vertices are within the threshold distance, they'll be combined automatically. For example, now it will not work, but if I change this one, and now will work, and now just I have one vertex. And always make sure to zoom in and check if the vertexes were welded properly. Yeah, it's 1 point. So now I want to delete this shape. I have to come here and click editable spline and then delete. Come to create one rectangle here and someone here, for example. Move one circle. Also one here. Okay. Now tab escape and this one. Right click and convert to, or come here and from modifier list, add the spline and a vertex in a geometry. Now I want to talk about fillets. We use the fillet command to round corner or point on a spline. Select vertex, hold left click and drag. Using fillet, we can soften corner and make the model take smoother and more natural. And also I can select corner and control from here. And chamfer. We use chamfer command to create a beveled edge on a corners or point of a spline. For example, hold left click and drag. Unlike fillet, which round corner, chamfer bevel them, making the edge straight and angled. And also I can control from here, like this. And after that, in segments, some of options same between a vertex segment. In the segment, I want to talk about in geometry, talk about divide. We use the divide to create evenly spaced points along the line. And with this, can decide how many segments we want the line to be divided into. For example, this segment, I want 2 lines, so I need 1 point and divide. See, now I have two lines with the same size. This one, I need 3 lines, so I need 2 points and divide. I have 3 lines with the same size, and later this point can be used for editing or creating more complex shapes. For example, you can move and this. So now here I have one edit spline, and in spline I have attach. With attach, we can combine multiple spline into one. For example, I select this and I want attach to this one. Look. Or I want attach to all of these. I can come and select attach multiply, and now select this, tap control, select all and attach. Now before I had just one edit spline and had 2 rectangles and 2 circles, but when I attach them together, now all of these are a spline. And look, this is a spline, this is a spline, this is a spline, this is a spline, and also this is a spline, and all of these have vertices and segments. So now I want to talk about outline. Okay, from this one. With the outline command, we can make a spline bigger or smaller from all sides, basically adding the border around it. It's really useful, for example, when creating the wall. Look, bigger or smaller, and also use from here. Just like you would in AutoCAD. Okay, left click again, and now we have Boolean. With the Boolean, we can combine or subtract 2 or more splines or shapes. This is really useful for creating complex form. And here we have 3 options. First one, union, to combine 2 or more splines, and subtraction, to subtract one spline from another, and this one, intersection, to get the overlapping area of 2 splines. So for example, this spline, I select this one and select Boolean and select this one. See? And again this one, and now I select this one, and for example select this one, and now I select this. Okay, select this one, and now select Boolean and then select this. See? Okay. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the next session. And now, for better understanding, in the next session I'll do a few short exercises. So don't forget to watch next session.